the magic go down in the King's Court. The vibe's electric. If you don't like that, we're here to correct it. With the best in the game, we're raising the bar. From the hardwood to the airways, we're the King's shining star. Expect the unexpected. This is where it's at. From NBA insights to the latest chit chat. Grab your popcorn, sit tight, we're ready to roll. In the heart of Sacktown, we're feeding your soul. In the King's Court, the vibe's electric. If you don't like that, we're here to correct it. With the best in the game, we're raising the bar. From the hardwood to the airways, we're the King's shining star. With the NFL, Adams in the ring. Rhino's got the wisdom, hear the praises we sing. Court in session, it's a royal affair. With the fans all around, feel the passion in the air. In the King's Court, the vibe's electric. If you don't like that, we're here to correct it. With the best in the game, we're raising the bar. From the hardwood to the airways, we're the King's shining star.
Cannot win with him. Cannot coach with him. Can't do it.
Can't do it. What's up? I'm looking at ESPN. I'm looking at The Athletic. I'm listening to Kyrie Irving, Dwayne Wade chime in on Kobe Bryant. Can't win with these stories. Can't do a show on these stories. I need winners. ESPN, quote, I felt like I needed to smoke a cigarette sometimes. Untold stories from the NFL holdouts. Does that sound good? Should we hit that? No? How about NBA rebuild rankings? How close 14 teams are to title contention. It's the best time of the year, man. Ryan in Sacktown with you. King's Court Wednesday. Hope you are well. We've got a few things to talk about, and we are going to test our collective basketball knowledge today. Shout out to my man Vlad for bringing this up. I've done these before. Sometimes I get stuck on them. I found one that involves the Kings, so we'll play a little game here in a little bit. If you want to call in, you can call in using the link that's in the chat, scan the QR code, or you can put your answers into the chat. I'll try to keep up with them the best that I can. What I would like to do is try to stay away from AI. Can we try to keep it? Can we not have the intellectual enhancers for this game? I want to see where we're at. It's going to be fun. It's going to stretch your basketball mind a little bit, and I'll explain the rules as I understand them. Maybe we'll read the rules together. I don't think we need to do that. We're not giving anything away, or are we? I don't know. But yeah, so we're kicking off the first of two shows here on the channel today. Napes with you again, 8 o'clock. It was cool to see him back last night. He's back again. I might just join him. We'll see if we have enough time. Hey, Coach, why is it that we play to win the game, right, Coach?
Hello?
Yeah, we do play to win the game. All right, perfect. So that's why we're going to play the game. Anyways, join Grant tonight. He'll be taking your calls. Talk about whatever you want to with him. You can take it off the board, too. Doesn't have to be sports. We can talk about the Kings. There's a couple of little things to talk about. Nothing super major. But Ben Simmons is apparently, according to Brian Windhorst, about a week away, sometimes within the next week, of picking one of four teams. Kings, one of them. Personally, I know Napes is like, yeah, I don't want Ben Simmons. Kind of okay with it. Depending on the number, veteran minimum, I think I'd be okay with it. And here's the other question. Westbrook's still on the market. And Schroeder signed to the deal that he's signed to. How does that hit you? Schroeder's going to make 14.1 this year, 14.8 next year. Third year is partially guaranteed. If it does get guaranteed, it's 15.5. But Russ Westbrook is still on the market. Is it Russ being picky? Is he looking for big money? I don't think that's there. You worry about the locker room concern as well. Mike Malone had some issues being able to manage him. Some speculate that that was part of the tension that was going on that led to Mike Malone getting canned in Denver. I feel bad saying canned about Mike Malone because I have a lot of respect for him as a coach. He's going to do just fine on TV. In fact, he was on TV days after being fired. It felt like for the playoffs. We are also on our march to get one more like than the day before. Thank you. Y'all came through. We got one more like than what would it have been? Monday. So let's try to get 27 today. Even if yesterday was 27 or higher, 27. Like would mean a lot. We're growing the channel. It's the slow time during the year. Show us some love in that category. Obviously, we love doing these shows for you, Grant and I, even when times are slow, like this summer. So we can get into kind of the discussion that I talked about. Are the Kings still in the market for a point guard? Maybe. Do they think somebody can play it that's in the system right now? We'll see. I got to think Simmons. Do you think Simmons? I got to think he goes to a big market. You think he comes to Sacramento? I don't know. I could see Russ wanting to come to Sac. Something to prove. But does that throw the balance of the locker room off? Probably not. Probably not. I was impressed last year. I mean, Russ is not MVP Russ, but for that position and the way that he's still able to explode, I mean, at least when he plays against the Kings, all except one game, he killed him. So we can talk about that, and we've got our game as well that we can get to, and then certainly we can talk Kings. I put summer surprises because yesterday, if you weren't with us, Jerry Reynolds, who is awesome enough to join us every Tuesday, was super high on Isaac Jones. Here's what Jerry had to say.
Got to put him in the top, top of the list somewhere. And I don't think the G League team, the Stockton Kings, get enough credit. I mean, it's almost like the Summer League team gets more credit than does the G League team when they won a championship.
Mm-hmm.
Have been near the top, with several different coaches, whether it's been Bobby Jackson, Lindsey Harding, and I mean, so it seems like, and the name escapes me now, and I'm as bad as anyone else. Stockton last year, and
Quentin Crawford.
Yeah, Quentin. Excuse me. Yeah, and basically had a great year, and they do a marvelous job. And I think here again, Keon Ellis and of course Isaac Jones is a Monty McNair snare. And I think the thing I like about Isaac, he's a late developer. And I always say, one of those guys didn't start playing basketball till late, grew late. There's so many examples of that through the years, the Tim Duncans, Akeem Olajuwon, Scottie Pippens, guys that grew late. And, actually, Larry Bird was the same thing, a real late developer. And those guys always seems to me like the odds of them getting better are really high. Because they started late and they don't burn out of the game near as much.
Sure.
And you see that with Isaac. I mean, his motor is just terrific. I don't know, he's right there with Sabonis as far as just playing every play. And you really can't say that about very many big guys in the league.
I went on to say that's a HE double hockey sticks of a compliment. To put his name just in any category with Domantas Sabonis coming from Jerry Reynolds. So go on, check that out if you weren't with us yesterday. It was a really good show. Great stuff with Jerry, as always. The Oos, Adam Uso, officially an Oos in the house. What's up? You got your yeet. You can't be calling out for sound drops. Even though I am organizing the library and we're making this clean.
Acknowledge me.
You can't just call out for your sound drops. I'm not going to go all haunted horse and be like, you don't get a button. Got to play their button. No, you don't give a button. Never mind. You'd have to see that show to realize he's got his own library here. Would love Westbrook at any age on this team. Fair enough. Westbrook wasn't my choice, but if we could have paid him the same, as Schroeder, that's what I'm saying. I mean, maybe Westbrook is holding out for a very small number of teams. Like he's willing to play the vet minimum for certain teams. And if it's for a team that's kind of towards the bottom of the conference, maybe that number's higher. Hell, maybe Westbrook, there was talk about the Kings possibly setting up a Zoom meeting with him. And then all of a sudden, Dennis Schroeder was signed. So who knows? Maybe that has already cooled off. The bottom line is the Kings are going to need a backup point guard, and it's not going to be Devin Carter. Jerry said as much yesterday. And can you do it by committee? Maybe you can squeeze those minutes by. I actually, and we can talk about this more as we lead up to training camp. I'm torn on what I think the number's going to be for Dennis Schroeder. He'll start. He has to start at that number. But how many minutes a game is he going to play? That's kind of one of those things that's like up in the air. Could like Schroeder be a quasi different positions, but Kevin Huerter started. He'd get his run to start the game. He might get a couple of minutes in the third quarter, starts the third quarter. And then after that, you didn't always see Huerter come back into the game. Because one thing about Doug that I don't think is going to change is he's going to play the hot hands. And one thing that I remember Doug doing when he first got, Coach Christie, doing when he first got the job. By the way, the schedule for preseason is out, if you didn't know that already. When he first got the job as interim, he said, I want to make teams adjust, or I want teams to have to adjust to us. And where I find that very interesting is now how the West has gotten so much bigger. I mean, look at a team like Dallas. Across the board, the West is bigger. Phoenix is bigger now. Golden State, kind of about the same. But we can keep going down the list. Portland. Are you going to be able to force those teams to go small? The Clippers have gotten bigger. Kings were able to get Memphis to go small. That was the one time they changed the starting lineup, according to Doug's move. They took Zach Edey out of it. That was one of the first games Doug coached. It was Devin Carter's first game last season as well. So anyways, we can always go Kings. We've got our basketball game that involves the Kings that we will play here in a little bit. Want to get to the rest of the chat. If there's anything you want to talk about, we've been WNBA heavy. I'm not going to hit you over the head with that today. Tua came out in a press conference at training camp. I thought his comments were interesting. You don't usually hear Tua like this. He was asked about Tyreek Hill, basically saying he wants out, and now he's back. Check out what Tua, who loves Christmas, by the way, check out what Tua had to say.
I would say we're still continuing to do that. But it's not just with me. It's with a lot of the guys. I'm not the only one that heard that. You guys aren't the only people that heard that. A lot of people that follow football, that follow the Miami Dolphins, that follow Tyreek, that are fans of his. Everyone has seen that. So when you say something like that, you don't just come back from that with, hey, my bad. You got to work that relationship up. You got to build everything up again. And yeah.
We do cover more than the Kings. Was that Kings? We cover a lot of stuff besides the Kings. It's the Kings season. We're covering the Kings. We do a lot more than that, Geek NB or Geek USA 101. You know what I did last night? And I mean this in all due respect. Geek made me reminded me of it. But Little Giants popped up in my stream. And I'm like, I don't think I've watched Little Giants since I was a kid. So I'm like, what the heck? There's nothing going on. Popped in, or I started Little Giants. That movie holds up. That is a good sports movie. I mean, it has its corny places like Spike, right? And Spike's dad. But the movie holds up. I tweeted out about it and I got a lot of reaction about it. It holds up. You know, another movie that I don't think we mentioned when we were talking about doing the brackets? White Man Can't Jump. That's a good one too. Let's see. Paul says we got that one already. What's up, Ash Hades? Maybe we'll do a little mosh segment today. Maybe we could get into that. We're going to do a card segment coming up in the next week or so too. Rhino, please explain why we got rid of Jonas. That makes absolutely no sense. Yeah, I'm with you. I can't really explain it. I think you probably... Scott Perry wanted to salary dump, and he didn't want to have to attach a second-round pick to it, so he gave up a better player. I'm not convinced Saric is going to be on the roster come opening night. I'm not. Maybe I'm wrong. Could be wrong. Do you guys think Saric is going to be in the roster or on the roster opening night? Maybe. Could be a chance.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah!
Oh, we're calling out sound drops. Yes, you can. Yeah, Andrew. That's just one of those moves. Kind of, you know, okay, when we've talked about Scott Perry, very complimentary with the draft, super complimentary with how that was handled. But free agency, what was the rush to get Doug? Jerry said the same thing yesterday. Said, was the timing curious? He said, very. Getting rid of Valanciunas. Yeah, and here's the other thing. Is there a better fit in the Western Conference for Valanciunas than Denver? You don't think there was another team you could have got that same deal with? Don't send him to Denver. He is a perfect backup for Jokic. He's perfect for Jokic. So, okay, you guys seem to be well behaved. Rhino, you're getting real good at yeah. You know, I try, Paul. I try to fill in for people, unless it's Dennis, where it's 9 out of 10 messages are clearly talk to text. I'm not going to cut through that. I'm going to read it as is, so he will stop doing that. But yeah, you kind of learn to put your words in there. Bad news Bears. Tyreek is in the doghouse for sure. You get Tua coming out saying that? Heck yeah. Ryan, is that your favorite shirt? Do you have varying degrees of clean shirts? Yes. I forgot. Okay. So where I record from is not where I live. So I forgot my shirt. So I had to I had to wear another one on short rest. Yes, it started what, Peter, 3 nights ago, and it's back. Only you, Peter, would point that out. Thank you, Peter. You've now made me feel incredibly awkward for the rest of the show. Like, time for me to leave. Peter, you kind of just...
All right, now, mommy, daddy button.
I do like this shirt, though. You know why I like it? It's comfortable. It's comfortable. Portland's Denny Avia is prioritizing playing in Israel. Really? I did not know that. I like him. I like him a lot. One of those glue guys for Portland. Torsha, we need a starting point guard more than a backup center. You know, your argument's not bad. Your argument isn't terrible. I mean, I could make a counter argument, but here's where Torsha is right. But then maybe it's not right. When Sabonis went down towards the end of the season last year, Valanciunas filled in great. The Kings won, like, I think 4 or 5 games. When Malik Monk went down, the Kings were a disaster coming down the stretch. So which one's more important? Which one is more important? Yeah, it was. I mean, yes and no. How do you think Sabonis is looking at the offseason right now? Like, where's Domas's head at? He obviously got a point guard. I think he's excited, or at very minimum, optimistic about playing with Neek and Max. But where you at if you're Domas with everything that happened last year? Where are you at? Seahawks making a mean run this year? I don't see that at all. And this is a Seahawks house. You know what I did see today, though? I think I tweeted it out. I'm like, Raiders fan is different, man. You've got not a brand new, but you've got a Tesla. I've already taken a little bit of offense to Tesla owners that put the carpool stickers on the car. If you're going to spend that much money on a car, I could live without the carpool sticker in the carpool lane to keep that car like nice and clean. That's not a bumper sticker car. There's this Raiders fan that has a pearl white Tesla, not that old, and two giant Raiders logos on the bumper. Two of them. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. But that's why I like Raiders fan over Niners fan. Niners fan, the flags are out when you're doing well. You're wearing the gear, keeping the tags on it, and then the Niners start tanking. I didn't see many flags around November last year. Did y'all? Just saying. That's Sabonis's face. Did you talk about Honey Badger retiring? I did not. Heck of a career for him. And you got to include what he did in college as well at LSU. 12 years went fast. It does. Think about LeBron's career. For anybody that's, I'm not going to say my age because I don't want to play the drop, but, LeBron, he's been in the league for what, 22 going on 23? I think 22 or 23 off the top of my head. We've seen that all go by. It's nuts. Goes by in a flash. We need a point guard and JV. Yep, absolutely. Sabonis excited about the offense going through him. I don't think he is. I would argue Sabonis likes the offense going through him maybe about 50% of the time, as opposed to 75, 85% of the time. Raider Nation, yeah, the flags are out, baby. Yeah, maybe you're year-round Niners fan. There's somebody that lives around my parents' house that has their entire home is dedicated to the 49ers. Paint color of the house, logos everywhere. That's a big commitment. So I guess I have to leave that Niner fan out of what I consider the fair weather Niner fans. Like, Niner fans to me are kind of in the same category as LA fans. I don't know why. And I'm sorry if I'm offending you. I've just never really, they're good, you're all about it. If they're bad, you run away from it. I just don't like that. So, all right, are we ready to play a game? You guys ever heard of this? This was recommended to us by my man Vlad. And I think it's kind of fun. I've done these before. I'm sure some of you have done them as well. It is basketball related. So we are going to test our basketball knowledge. Believe they call these things the Immaculate Grid. Have you done them? Have you heard them? Here's how it works. You've got 9 guesses so if we are looking at this box right here, the Heat and the Hornets, you need to think of a player that has played for the Heat and the Hornets. If it's like a big name player that most people are going to put in or associate with that team, then you don't get as many points. But if you can get a nice pull, like somebody that was 10th, 11th, 12th on the bench, the more points you get. I was able to find one with the Kings. So we've got 9 guesses. Chad says Terry Rozier. Is it too obvious of an answer? Grant says Immaculate Grid is an awesome game. Well, thank your guy Vlad for hooking that one up. Okay, if we're gonna go between these two, I would rather go Rozier. I would rather go Terry Rozier. Anybody else? Anybody else come to mind? Are we going Terry Rozier? I'm good taking Terry Rozier. All right, here we go. We are going Terry Rozier. All right. Survey says 29%. Good job. Good job. We're coming at this thing like a spider monkey. All right, where do we want to move on to? Thomas Bryant would have been a decent one, Ryan. I think the focus on one square at a time so the audience listeners can follow along. That's what I did, Grant. We focused on the Heat and we focused on the Hornets. So now we need somebody that's played for the Heat and played for the Wizards. Heat and Wizards. I'm scanning my mind here. Famous Heat players. Old Heat players. Did Eddie Jones play for the Heat and the Wizards? Wizards players. Gilbert, no. Wade, no. Which Strickland? Swerve Strickland? Strickland. I don't know who Strickland is. I can't remember any Wizards players. See, this is what makes it interesting. And this is what we do during the slow times. DeLon Wright, Peter says. Okay, so DeLon Wright, Rod Strickland, okay. So are we going to go DeLon Wright or Rod Strickland? What do y'all think? I'm kind of leading towards Rod Strickland. Notice how you all are leading the way right now. I have not done anything. All right. Let's go Rod Strickland. We're going with Justin. Here we go, Justin. Boom. Dude, Justin.
Woo!
4%. Well done, my man. Good job.
Great success.
All right. A Heat player that's averaged a block per game. Obvious ones. Bam, Alonzo Mourning. What are the not so obvious? Did Bosch average a block a game? Haslam, a block per game, possibly. Yeah, I agree. That was a really good one, Justin. 4%. Everybody's going to go Lonzo. Shaq, yeah. Can we think of a better one? Did Kevin Love average a block per game? Who was the king that we sent to Miami? Whiteside, yeah, exactly. That's who I was thinking. Hassan Whiteside. Tyler Hero. I don't think he's getting a block a game. You know what? Anybody? Oh, Omar. Okay. I want to make sure that we're not, Chad, you're not using the interweb, are you? We're playing this straight. I like Hassan Whiteside. Davion. Let's go Hassan Whiteside. Or here's the other thing. We're gonna have to. Okay, we're gonna have to have two. So why don't we save Hassan Whiteside? Oh no, we're not gonna have to have two. Okay, Hassan Whiteside. Dan Marriagehill or Majaro. Dang. Let's go Hassan Whiteside. That's where we're going. I'm making the choice. Hassan Whiteside. 18%. Boom. All right. We need a Nugget and a Hornet. We're 3 for 3 so far with a 4%er. Great poll by Justin. Don't cheat. I know. Don't cheat. Let's do this honest. Somebody that was a Hornet and a Nugget. Was Andre Miller a Hornet at one time? It's funny because we start thinking to like right now, and you got to think like back. Hornet and a Nugget. I apologize for those that are listening on the audio replay. For those watching live on YouTube and X, we are doing the immaculate grid. We are looking for, so put your answers in the chat later. We'd see if they'd be better. You can do that on Apple and Spotify. We're looking for a player who's played for the Nuggets and the Hornets. Rodney Hood. And he was in Portland too, right, Torsha? Rodney Hood? I like that. Rodney Hood. Nurkic? Was Nurkic? Yeah, he was. Yeah, Josh something. Let's type that in. Josh something. I'm trying to remember. Was Rodney in Denver, though? All right, Torsha. Torsha, we're going to go with you because we're kind of stumped right now. Let's go Rodney Hood. Survey says no. We missed one. No Rodney Hood. I don't remember him being in Denver. All right. Mason Plumlee. Plumlee wasn't in Denver or in yeah, he wasn't in Denver, I don't think. Okay. We're going to come back to that one. Very obvious one for the Kings and the Hornets. Let's move on to the Kings and the Hornets. Very obvious name, Malik Monk. Who else? Kings and Hornets. Tapir Cheater? I don't know who that is. Tapir Cheater. Who else? Oh, Flores. You're right. I think that's better than Monk. Good job. No, Torsha. We're looking for a Sacramento King that's been a Hornet and a King, not a Hornet, King, and default GM of the team. Jeremy Lamb, we've got to save that. That's too valuable if that question comes up. I think Vlade. Jeremy. Okay, so are we going Lamb or are we going Vlade? Gerald Wallace. Yes. So out of those three, what's going to be the more obscure? I kind of think Vlade will be the more obscure. But y'all tell me. Put your final vote in. So Dennis has the last comment right now. It's DVOTs. In fact, you know what? Let's bring the comments on to the screen while we do this. There we go. That might be hard for you to see. Never mind. We're going to take the comments down. Is that too hard for everybody to see? Grant says Lamb is more rare. You're right. Lamb is more rare than the three of them. All right. Anybody else going once? BJ Armstrong. But he didn't play for the Kings. Lamb and Vlade, worst GMs in Kings history. Yes. Yes, they are the worst GMs in Kings history. This is a fact. Not good. Yeah, we had Wallace, Brad Miller. Okay, I think we're going Jeremy Lamb. We're going Jeremy Lamb. Let's go there. Let's go Jeremy Lamb. 4%er. 4%er. Good job. Well done. I knew we could do this. Great job. All right.
Shut up. Stop. Move forward.
All right, Charlie. Let's go to a king and a wizard. Most obvious one. Most obvious. Chris Webber. It's an obvious one. Jonas Valanciunas. Fairly obvious. King and a wizard. Let's think out of the box here. Think the back end. Mitch Richmond. Mitch Richmond. Anybody? So there's three. We've got Richmond. We have Chris Webber. And we also have Jonas Valanciunas. Rashawn Holmes. Good job, Grant. That, you know what? I think that is probably because he went from, he is in Washington. It was Dallas to Washington. Seth Curry. Yep. But I think our best two right now, I named the top ones. I think Rashawn and Bagley are probably our best bets right now. Can we dive any deeper there? Washington and Sacramento. I'm scanning my brain through different Kings rosters per year. City, Siosco. No, Mike Bibby didn't play in Washington. At least I don't remember him playing in Washington. Maybe I'm wrong. Seth Curry. Okay. All right. Everybody, are we on the same page? All right, let's go Seth Curry. Here we go. Can we get another 4%er? Oh, we had so many. And Seth Curry was never a wizard. Oh, the pain. Come on. Damn, Kyle Kuzma. That's funny. All right, so we have only 3 guesses left. We should have been able to fill this thing up, man. Mitchell Robinson. Okay, so a king and 1 block per season. Let's get obscure. Go back to the 90s. Go back to the 2000s. Got to think Scott Pollard had a block. Got to think Kazi averaged a block. You got to think Michael the Animal Smith had a block per game. I know Grant with the bamboozle, dude. Grant, you had me convinced for a second was Seth. And all we got was this. Dwayne Coswell. Thank you for the history lesson. Jason Williams. Brian Grant. Good job there. Brian Grant. The Wizard himself. Did the Wizard play for the Wizards? Keon Clark. Yes. Okay. What about Michael the Animal Smith, y'all? Isn't that pretty obscure? Brad Miller. Dwayne. Justin, you got me worried, man. You got me worried after that Seth Curry, man. I mean, if everybody's going to be with you on that, then all right. Oh, I got one. I got one that all of you love to hate. What about Spencer Hawes? Spencer Hawes, anybody? He was like out of the league after Sacramento. Don't remember him blocking many shots. Joe Klein. Did Jason Thompson block a lot of shots? OP. Yes. OP. What a nice guy. I met OP at a Blockbuster Video. BJ saying boo to OP. Samuel Dallenbert. I like OP. Where we at? We going OP? Thompson did. Okay. Are we going OP? Olden Polonese? I like OP. Looks like the chat likes that. Greg Ostertag. Did he play enough, though? I cheated and looked it up. It's a current player according to Google. There's only one king that's averaged 1 block. Oh, it has to be new? Oh, maybe we missed that. Does it have to be new? Who down with the OPP? Doug Christie? No, it's a current player. If it's a current player, it is a guard forward. It's not Sabonis. It's a tweener. So Peter, you cheated. So should we even take Peter's cheating into consideration? Do we have to throw that out? I think we've got to throw that out. Is there really that many boomers on a stream? Because I'm barely remembering these guys, and I'm pushing 46. Good point. Good point. I'm 41. We're men. We're 40. Peter, you got me confused with this. There's only one current king. Maybe you're just throwing in context about this year's team. Is that what you're doing?
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
We're looking for a king that averaged 1 block per game. Peter, is it Keon? I'm just curious. We won't go with it, but is it Keon that averaged a block, or was it JB? Couldn't have been JB because Doug didn't play him enough down the stretch. Wow. Remember how I was telling you at the start of the show that it's that time of year? Aggies Collie mascot has surgery to remove eye. That is a headline on ESPN.com. Keegan? Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. I thought, I really did think that Keon was getting close to that. He was blocking a decent amount of shots. So good job by Mr. Keegan Murray there. Okay, which way are we going, y'all? Alex Len, he didn't play enough. Ron Artest, Grant says. I don't think we have anything better than Olden Polynice. I think it's got to be OP. Does anybody think OP wasn't getting a block a game? Just out of curiosity? Are we being too generous there? All right, we got to pick one.
Pick a side.
OP, do Whiteside again? Can you do a player twice? I don't think so. Funderburg, no. Okay, let's put it to these two. Oscar Robertson, yeah, funny. Let's put it to OP in Ron Artest. Weber. Oh, what about Pollard? Hey, you know what? What about Scott Pollard? DMC, he took more charges than blocked shots. What about Scott Pollard, everybody? Scott Pollard, OP, or Ron Artest? Which way are we going? I want to put Scott Pollard in, but I will listen to you. Don't interrupt with the headlines. I'm watching a fierce race between two garden snails, 2 more inches to go. Grant called one of those a couple of summers ago, but it involved a turtle. Pollard. That's where I want to go to. You know what? Host decision. I'm going Scott Pollard. You guys can all bag on me if I'm wrong. Survey says 1%. Heck yeah. Let's go.
Light the beam. Light it.
Let's go. 1%. The big man coming through. 1%. For those listening on the replay, we were asked to choose one king that averaged one plus block per game. And we got Scott Pollard. And it's a 1%er. We are 1%ers, y'all. We are in the 1% of everybody that plays this game. And it was a King's answer. Let's go. All right. Where do we want to move on? We've already blown the Kings and the Wizards. We can take another guess there with a guarantee. Or do you want to try to do you want to go obscure with Denver and one block per game? Grazie. Paul, remember, Scott with one T. It's the only thing that drives him crazy. Where do we want to go? We got two guesses left, so we'll do a king and a wizard. Let's go back to the Kings and the Wizards. We know Mitch Richmond, Mike Bibby, Chris Webber, and what was the other one? I already said it. So we had Mike Bibby. Dennis, you're throwing me off with the Bibby. I laid out three of them. Oh, Valanciunas. You've got Valanciunas, Richmond, Bibby, and Weber. Can we think of any other ones? Then we'll go to the Denver one block after that. I kind of lean with Dennis. I think Mike Bibby is a little bit more obscure there. Chris Webber, I probably, if we had to go down the list, because Valanciunas was so recent, that's going to get a decent amount for people that are in a rush. J.R. Smith, he didn't play for the Kings. Gerald Wallace, yeah, thank you. But now you got me worried, because Gerald Wallace also played for the Hornets. Paul, are you 100% sure about that? Mitch Richmond's kind of a safe bet. Not a lot of people paid attention to Mitch. He was an all-star MVP, though. Jordan said one of the toughest guys to guard. Bagley. You guys want to go Bagley here? And then we'll move on to Denver one block. Walt Williams. I don't remember the Wizard playing for the Wizards. I don't. But it's possible. Marvin Bagley. Are we going Bagley? All right, Justin, we're going Bagley. This can't go on all day. Although this is fun. Marvin Bagley. 5%er. Good job. All right. Okay, we need a Nugget with one block or more a game. Think back to a Nugget with one block per game. Who used to be the big man in Denver? Who was it before? Melo's not blocking a shot. Earl Boykins ain't blocking a shot. Collison, no. Oh, that's a great one. Another very good one. Excellent job by both of you. Camby. That's where he had a renaissance. Okay, so we've got Camby, we've got Nene. Who else? Who else? Birdman. Damn. Do you think Birdman did average a block though? Abdur-Rahim. He was more of like a Rudy Gay type though. I like Camby a lot. It's pretty good slam dunk. But Birdman's good too. Okay. So Birdman and Camby. Well, Nene, yeah, okay, or Nene. So we've got Birdman, Camby, and Nene. Which way do you want to go? While we think about it, we're not going to play that. Never mind. I'm just going to play a sound drop. Mount Mutombo, Antonio McDice. Yes. That's right. That's who I was thinking about. Man, I really like the Birdman, but I'm just trying to remember, did he block enough shots? He was a rim runner. I know that. Rafe LaFrance, another Kansas guy. Yeah, thanks, Adam. You're making it better, dude. You're making it so much better. You know what, Adam? These Kings fans,
Sacramento fans deserve better.
Do better, Adam.
Because you do.
Come on. Yeah, I kind of have to move off the Birdman. I like Nene. Does anybody else want? Nene was blocking shots. That's what he was in there for. It's only one word. Anybody? Justin Rafe LaFrance, are you sure? I don't remember Rafe as a shot blocker. Marcus Camby is good too, though, by Mike Bibby highlight. Camby, yeah, you know what? I think we got to go back to Camby. That's what makes this fun. All right, this is going to be our last one. A Denver Nugget. We're going Marcus Camby. If I could spell. There we go. Marcus Camby survey says okay, so we got a 272 parity. Win a free grid account. You can share and link your grid. No, I don't want to do that. This is our grid. Okay, so our rarity score, 272. All right. I got to say, Vlad, that was a great job. I wonder what the rarity was on Nene, but we hit it. Okay, so here's the question. Birdman could be the Hornet / Nugget as well, yeah. Okay, so here's the question. Do you guys want to do one more, gals? Should we do one more since it's slow today, or do you want to move on to something else? While you put your answers in the chat, here was Scott Perry talking about some of the moves in Vegas with Sean Cunningham.
Maybe that scrimmage, maybe a practice that all of a sudden kind of went, okay, yeah, I made the right call here.
Well, as it relates to Neek, I think the big thing that I've noticed in the practices and in games really is his ability to pass the basketball and handle the basketball, very guard-like. Yeah. And so that's been impressive. He takes on defensive challenges, which I love. So in the ability, and both of these young guys, both he and Max, have the ability to play alongside other good players because they both are blessed with high basketball IQ. And that's very important for a rookie coming in the door. So they have to learn some things about the NBA game, but their overall knowledge of how to play and play with others is pretty strong for guys coming in the door.
How much do you think in Neek's case that can help with the roster that you're building? I mean, you guys have made no secret, hey, we need a point guard, and then we'll get to Dennis Schroeder here in a minute. But seeing the ability that he has to be that, can you envision him playing that type of role within rotational piece this season?
Yeah, but when I had the press conference after the draft, after the first round, talked about Neek's versatility and his ability to play 3, 2, or 1 for that matter. So I think that can be a benefit for both him and us, that as training camp comes around and we start playing preseason basketball and he gets familiar with his teammates and vice versa, and Coach Christie and staff figure things out, his ability to play those multiple positions can be helpful. So it's not for me to determine today where that will be, but I think there's an openness to looking at him at any of those 3 perimeter positions.
You mentioned Doug there. How's that looking like? How's that working relation come along from between the two of you?
All right. You know what? Let's run it back.
Give it to me again! Give it to me again!
All right, let's run it back. We'll do one more. We will do one more. All right, where do you want to start? Should we start, or do you want a different grid? Let's do a different grid. This one seems lame. How about you? Ho. 20,000 plus points. I think we can get here. 10 plus rebounds per game in a season. We can definitely get there. Okay. Sun, though, they average 10 plus rebounds per game. Yeah, I'm with you, Aaron. Maybe we'll try a different one. Let's go different. I'm probably not uploading this to Apple and Spotify. It'll be too much, too slow. We already had this team. By the way, we do so much more than this on the Kings Court. We're having fun. It's slow time of the season. We are testing our basketball knowledge. Let's go down more. Show us some more. Give it to me again.
Give it to me again! Give it to me again!
Do you think we can find another Kings one? That would be awesome. Let's see. Survey says no Kings. All right. I will do this like 4 more times. And if we don't get a Kings one, then we don't get a Kings one. But maybe we'll get lucky. How about here? Ooh. All right. One more time. Do you know there's like streamers that just do stuff like this and record and get like 2 million people? Oh, we got one. Yes. There we go. All right. Cool. We got a Kings one. All right. Here we go. A King and a Raptor. Got 2 of them that are right there on the top of your head. Davion Mitchell and DeMar DeRozan. What about the kid that came here in the summer and the Kings got rid of him? San Diego State kid. Y'all know who I'm talking about. He was here for like a week of training camp. Jaden Daniels. No, it's not Jaden Daniels. It's Jaden McDaniels. Doug Christie. Okay. Doug Christie. Jamal Sheed. When did Sheed play for the Kings? I don't remember that, Peter. Yeah, Jalen McDaniels. That's the one that I like. That's going to be rare. People aren't going to think about Jalen McDaniels. He's bounced around so much. I think we go there. Let's go there. Let's go Jalen McDaniels. Oh, it didn't take. I was like, that can't be wrong. You guys really want Christie? Vince Carter, it's a little too obvious, I think. I don't think it's a 1%er. I think it's probably double digits. Let's go Jalen McDaniels. I'm going to make the final call here. I think this is going to be at least 4% or lower. Oh, he never played for the Kings. He never played in a game. He never played in a game. How about that? All right, we're going to keep doing the Kings. So we'll go. You guys want to go Doug Christie? Keon Clark, Mike Bibby, highlight. All right, we'll do Keon Clark, Mike Bibby, highlight. There you go. Make this one go a little bit quicker. Keon Clark. Survey says 0.6%. Dude, you just beat the 1%. Well done, Mike Bibby highlight. Yeet! Love that. Very well done. How about that? All right. A king, and again, think obscure. A king with 5+ assists per season. Simple ones, Domantas Sabonis. You want to get a little more creative? Vlade Divac. Oscar Robertson, obviously. King, 5+ assists per season. Go back in, like, scan your mind back in the day. Bano, do you think Bano averaged 5? Jason Williams. Got to think Tyreek Evans had 5 or more. So we have Vlade, we have Bano, we have Jason Williams, we have the Big O. Aaronsberger says Weber. Who else? Can we dig any deeper? Is this supposed to be Jim Les, Paul? Is that where you were going? Paul, man, I'm starting to understand. We're on the same page. That's pretty funny. Not gonna lie. All right, so where are we going? Give me some more names. Theus? Really? Caspi didn't have 5 assists a game. Tyreek Evans, yeah, he did. Okay. So, did Hallie? Did he really? You know, I think Fox might be in there too. Okay. So if we're going obscure, I'm not super comfortable with Bano. I'm not there. I'm fairly comfortable with Vlade. Jason Williams, very comfortable. Tyreek Evans, very comfortable. Big O, slam dunk. Darren Collison. Okay, does Mike Bibby highlight get extra weight? Because before I had a 1%er, he has a 0.6%er. Like his answers carry some extra weight. Darren Collison, did he have 5 or more though? What about Rondo? Rondo, anybody? Rajon Rondo, 5 or more? Rondo? 5 is a big number. Because when Rondo was out, he was coaching. I mean, he was helping out a lot too. Okay, so Van Leer? What about Sharunas Marshallonis? He was more of a shooter. Some of you young guns won't remember that name. Okay, so we're down to damn, Rondo, Collison. Rondo did for sure. Okay, so are we going Rondo? Paul says he doesn't think it was 5. Aaron, he split time. He wasn't the starter the entire season. Isaiah Thomas. Thomas was more of a scoring guard. Hallie. Okay. Aaron says Gravis again. Okay, so Rondo, Gravis. Okay, our slam dunks are Tyreek, the Big O, Demonis Sabonis, and probably De'Aaron Fox. Those are our slam dunks. If we want to get risky, Tristan keeps great. Okay. You guys want to go Gravis Vasquez? I will, but I kind of like Rondo. Not a lot of people remember that Rondo played here. Spud, Kevin Martin, yeah, maybe he did. He's more of a shooter. Any Vlades out there? You know Vlade had 5 or more. Justin says Spud. Damn, I'm going to have to choose. And if it's below 1%, I'm going to be disappointed. I'm going to go. We're going to go, excuse me. So many people said Vasquez. I just don't think he had 5 assists a game. And I don't know if these stats are like qualified, where you have to have so many games played, so many minutes played, etc. Weber for sure. Justin Jackson definitely did not. Okay, I'm between Rondo and Vasquez. Which way do you want to go? Put your vote in now. Harrison did not. I don't think he had 5 or 6 a game. Okay. Which way do you want to go? Vasquez or Rondo? Put it in now. I will let the majority rule. I am leaning towards Rondo, but that's my vote. What is everybody else's vote? We have another one for Rondo. Voting closes in 45 seconds. Get them in. Hey, you know who was close? You know who was really close? This guy.
Yeah, since he's been back, he lost a lot of pounds. He was fat at the beginning of the year.
Monk is probably right there on that line too. All right, everybody's saying Rondo. Let's go Rajon Rondo. Not Fajon, Rajon Rondo. Survey says 3%. All right, so what was the actual number on Vasquez? Did he get 5 assists per game? with the Kings? Let's check. Was he really a five assist guy? He was. All right, let's check him out. Looking right now. He was not. He was not, y'all. I knew it. Averaging 9.8 points, 2.7 rebounds, and 4.8 assists. Boom. All right, this will be fun. Kings, 20 plus points per game. We know the obvious candidates. Yeah, we're doing well. Good job. Good job, y'all. This is fun. Do we know the obvious candidates? I think we can kind of collectively understand that we have a base level of the Richmonds, of the Webbers, of the Foxes. I mean, we can keep going there. There's a lot of them. What about back in the day? Who was averaging 20 points for the Kings? Cousins, he definitely did it one season. Oscar, obviously. Kevin Martin, I don't mind that. Was Kevin a 20? He had to be. Yeah, you're right. How about more obscure? Sammy Dalbert? Was he really? Was he 20 or more? Brad Miller? That might be a decent Brad Miller one. Keno? 20 or more. You know, I don't think Rudy was at 20 or more. I just don't, for whatever reason. Can we use a lifeline and call Jerry Reynolds? You think he would pick up? I would. I hate to cold call him and be like, "Hey, Jerry, we're on the air. I need an obscure king that averaged 20 or more points." Because what happens is when Jerry's one of those guys, Katino Mobley. What about Mike Bibby? Bibbs did. No, I'm not going to call names. Jerry, when you text him, like if you text him a basketball question, he'll call you back. So text messages out. It's either calling Nate Archibald. Okay. Nate Archibald. Think about the lean years of Sacramento Kings basketball. Who was the go-to guy? Yeah, Mitch all day, obviously. What about Tyreek Evans here? That's kind of obscure, right? Because he never, I mean, the end of his career kind of picked up. Wayman Tisdale. Love Tizzy. But I don't think Tizzy averaged 20. What's everybody think about Tyreek Evans here? Yeah, I'm not going to call Jared. The more I think about it. Don't do that to the legend. Because every time Jerry and I get on the phone, it's never a 1-minute conversation. Yeah, Tyreek Evans, his rookie year. Yeah. If Miss Reynolds answered or soup. Peja. Okay. You know what? That's not bad either. Tyreek's too easy, Torsia says. Okay. What about Peja? What about Kevin Martin? Somebody already said that. Kevin Martin, Peja. I think Brad Miller too. Brad had more than 20 a game. What about Corliss Williamson? Corliss Williamson, anybody? You know, Vivek would love to have so many of these guys in Celebrity Row 2, not Row A, Row B. Marcus Thornton. I always remember how Scott Moak would say his name. What about Corliss Williamson? I like Peja. I like Corliss. And what about Brad Miller? Brad Miller was a 20-point guy. Wasn't he? Kevin Martin, that's another one. Torsha put in there. Was Sharunas 20, though? I don't know if Sharunas was 20. He might have been. He was a streaky lefty. Buddy is always just a little bit shy of anything. Okay, now we're coming off the rails. OP did not average 20. Did he really? If he did, I don't remember that version of OP every night. Like I remember OP as like a like 11 points, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks kind of guy. I don't think he did. The scoring that year was heavily on Kevin Martin. From anybody on, well, Brad Miller too. I mean, that team was in the playoffs against Spurs. All right, we gotta come to an answer here, because we then need to get to. I think that bottom row is going to be fun. First round draft pick in those categories. All right, so are we going Kevin Martin? Are we going Peja, Brad Miller, Flores says Bibby, Paul doubles down on Tizzy, Danny Ainge. Was Danny Ainge a 20-point scorer? All right, I'm gonna make an executive decision here. So I want to see if we can get a bracket that's not wrong, but also test us. I'm going Kevin Martin for us. Although I really kind of want to put Brad Miller in. Kevin Martin. Here we go. 1%. Good job. Good job, everybody. There we go. All right. Kenny Smith. Yeah. Okay. How about a first round draft pick? This is where it's going to get hard. You're going to have to think about the sleepers that were in the draft. Let's go. That was yours, Torsha. Good job. Very good job, Torsha. All right. So 5 assists, first round pick. Hell, we could throw another king in there. Jason Williams. 1%'s good, but look at that 0.6% Mike Bibby highlight had. Okay. So what if we throw Jason Williams in there? What do you guys think? Give me some other thoughts. You could throw Tyreek Evans in there. I bet you Tyreek Evans is like he's got to be 4% or below. Yeah. You guys want to put Tyreek in? I want to put Tyreek in. Jason Kidd. I'll let the names come in. Let them come in, but you got to get me off Tyreek. Hurley didn't play enough, I don't think, Paul. I think this thing's going by qualification. How many Hurley? It was right before, I believe, and I was young at this time. I think it was right around Christmas time that he got in his accident, right? I like Tyreek Evans right now. He's not somebody that was expected to be the rookie of the year. Grant Hill, Justin V says. Yeah, I'm with you. Tristan, I bet you when I bet Tyreek Evans will be less than 0.6%. Here we go. Mike Bibby highlight. Watch out, dude. I'm coming. I am coming for your 6%. Tyreek Evans. Here we go. Boom! 0.4%. 0.4%. Let's go, y'all. We're doing really good on this one. Yeet. Yeah, I don't think you can go the same player twice. I don't think you can. Think about really good players late in the first round. That's what you got to think about right now. Good players late first round. Any draft. Adam Silver wants to weigh in.
Of the physical, grinding.
That made no sense, Adam.
I want to let it marinate a bit.
Yeah, you're right about the accident. Don't know the parameters. Yeah. Isaiah was second round. If you're talking about our Isaiah. Tony Parker, was he a 20 plus guy? What about Peja? Peja. Anybody? Peja was a first round pick, right? If we want to stick to the Kings, what about Peja? I say most knowledgeable fans in the NBA, not Grant. That comes from me, y'all. He calls you the best fans in the. I believe it's the best fans in the NBA. I call you the best and most knowledgeable. Yeah, we're definitely not uploading the audio to this, but I hope if you're watching the replay of this, put your answers in the chat. I want to see what y'all come up with on some of these. 20 plus a game, first round pick. Anybody want to go against Peja here? I mean, I'm taking a risk. Was Peja over 20? Peja. Let's go Peja. All right, here we go. 0.1%. Boom. All right, we're rolling. We're rolling. All right, let's go to the Pacers. 5+ assists per game. That's an easy one. If you want like the 99th percentile, there's actually two of them. TJ McConnell as well. Think back to Pacers point guards back in the day. Nice. Good job. I know. That's great, right? It's fun. Could we like make it harder and say, well, yeah, we could. It would be Tyrese Halliburton, but it's not going to be good for the grid. What about Mark Jackson? Mark Jackson, 5 assists a game. Jamal Tinsley, Travis Best, TJ McConnell. I think TJ averages 5 assists. Any big men that we can think of that would have done that? Collison, yeah, you're right. Okay, so which way do we want to go here? Rick Schmidt? Oh my gosh. Rick Schmidt. What a pull. Danny Granger? No, I played in college against Danny Granger. He's not an assist guy. He's like a baseline jumper kind of dude. What happened to Danny? He's a New Mexico product. Let's see. 5+ assists per game. Or we could drop it to Raptors first round pick. Yeah, Mark Jackson was that was the one that I was trying to remember as well. And I think we put it right at about the same time. You guys want to do Mark Jackson? Jermaine O'Neal? Jermaine O'Neal, did he pass the ball that much though? Yes and no. We'll let Giannis tell us about wins while we think.
Oh my God. Okay, because I'm not that up.
Reggie?
You asked me the same question last year, Eric. Okay. Do you get a promotion every year on your job? No, right? So every year you work is a failure. Yes or no? No. Every year you work towards something, towards a goal, right? Which is to get a promotion, to be able to take care of your family, to be able, I don't know, provide the house for them or take care of your parents.
What about Miles Turner?
It's not a failure. It's steps to success. You know, and if you've never...
Oh, that's a good one, Aaron.
I don't want to make it personal.
That's not a bad one.
There's always steps to it. You know...
that's not a bad one.
Michael Jordan played
15
years,
Mark Jackson or Lance Stevenson?
That's what you're telling me. I'm asking you a question. Yes or no? Okay, exactly. So why you asking me that question?
I know Giannis is...
It's the wrong question. There's no failure in sports.
No failure in sports. There's no failure on the grid. We have a 0.6%. We have a 1%, a 0.6%, a 0.4%, and a 1%. Let's make sure we fill this thing up. Let's go Mark Jackson. What do you guys say? Because I want to make sure, or do you want to do Tyrese Halliburton? I don't know. No, it'll drag us down. Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson had 5 assists per game. He had to have. All right, we're going Mark Jackson. If I'm wrong, I am sorry. I gotta think. Brogdon? Dang it, Justin. At the last second. No, Brogdon's more of a scorer. We're sticking with Jackson. Please be right. Yes, 21%. All right. Better than Hallie. All right, so Pacers, 20 or more points a game. This is where we need to get, obviously, Reggie Miller's going to be up there. Larry Bird will be on that list. Did we miss one? Yeah, I think we did miss one. Yeah, we did. We missed Jaden McDaniels. Remember? And we realized he didn't play a game as King. He was only in training camp. All right, so Pacers, 20 points per game. Go. Who you got? Pacers, 20 points per game. I'm looking for funny drops while we think about this. Here you go. Here's a classic.
You know, one of the things that we're continuing to talk about with our guys is we can't be bored stacking plays the right way.
Pacers, 20 plus points
we don't
a
need
game.
the home run steal. We don't need the home run 3. We just need to be methodical by stacking or playing the right way, possession after 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 possession.
I don't think our test had
after
20.
possession after possession after possession after possession after possession after
Yeah,
possession
right.
after possession after possession after possession after possession after
Pacers,
possession
20
after
points.
possession
Chuck
after
Person.
possession after possession after possession after possession. You guys got what I'm saying?
Yeah, that got Mike like fired for sure. That did not play well with the locker room. Well, that didn't get him fired. Did not play well with the locker room. 20 plus points a game. Yeah, that's a good one. Well, is it? Jermaine O'Neal? Okay, so Oladipo or Jermaine O'Neal? Oladipo. Okay, let's go Oladipo. We go Victor Oladipo. Boom. 4%. Good job, y'all. Okay. Your records suck. My records? Wasn't it Rick Smits, not Schmidt? It was Smits. Thought it was Smits. All right. Pacer and Raptor. Or you can go Raptor first round pick. Grady Dick, first round pick for the Raptors. Or you can go Pacer and Raptor. Like Jermaine. Was Granger, you know what? Granger probably was a 20-point scorer. His career just didn't last that long. I thought it was Rick Smits. Like, if I Google this right now, I'm almost certain. Rick Smits. Sounds like something on The Simpsons. It was Rick Smits. And it's spelled Riksmits. You know, Smits averaged 1.1 assist. Couldn't have put that in. Okay. Pacer. Anybody? Can you think of an obscure Raptors first round pick? Scotty Barnes. That's their star right now. Think back to the Raptors being lean. DeMar DeRozan. What about DeMar DeRozan? DeMar DeRozan, anybody? I like DeMar DeRozan. First round pick category. Thaddeus Young, okay. For that one. Do you guys want to keep it Kings and go DeMar DeRozan? Not a lot of people will remember that he started his career there. They think about San Antonio. I'm going to make the executive decision. I'm going to go DeMar DeRozan because we have so many Kings. So here we go. And I'm not going to put there we go. DeMar DeRozan. All right. Parity score, 135. All right. I think that's good, right? Parity score, 135. What was DeMar's percentage at? 4%. 4%. All right. We did it. You did it. Tracy McGrady. Yeah, that would have been a good one. That's one that a lot of people remember. So that was kind of a different Wednesday. That was fun. What'd y'all think? That was interesting. Shout out to Vlad for making that suggestion as we are in the slow time of the season. I thought that was pretty cool. I do want to go over an article that I found interesting from The Athletic. We can wrap up on that. It's what I heard about Damian Lillard, LeBron, NBA expansion, and more at Summer League by John Hollinger, a very respected writer with The Athletic. That we did good. You know what? Pat ourselves on the back. That was a really good job by all of you. Super good job. And we are on our race to get 27 or more likes on the show. I know a lot of people are going to fall off on this one, but if you go back and you're watching on replay, if you would have had a better answer, throw it in the chat. I want to see what everybody else comes up with. But that was a good parity score. We got a 0.1%er with Peja. That was awesome. We had a 0.6%er, a couple of 0.4, so really good. What is 100% good all the time? Bennett's Restaurants here in the greater Sacramento area. 3 in all: Rockland, Roseville, Howe and Fair Oaks. Of course, you can find, if it's brunch, you're finding me at Howe and Fair Oaks because the little man doesn't want to go all the way to Rockland or Roseville. But if you're going to do brunch, I say go to Rockland and Roseville. Their patios are set up perfect for brunch. Same great food at all 3 locations. Prime cuts of seafood and steak and specials literally every single day of the week. Brian, just thank you, Haunted Horse, who's always lurking for that. Specials throughout the week that are amazing. The new menu, the Taste of Summer, 2 courses for $30. For an extra $5, you can add on a dessert as well. Brunch on the weekends that we talked about, happy hour 2 to 6 o'clock every single day of the week. Prime rib Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, wine and dine Monday. I could keep going. Just go to the website. Trust me, you'll be there for a little bit. Sign up for the newsletter. You'll find out when Brian rolls out specials that are based upon the ingredients that he is seeing are the best right now in the time of year. So big thanks to the entire team at all 3, obviously, Brian and Margot, who runs Howe and Fair Oaks. We appreciate them sponsoring the King's Court, and we appreciate all of you that have been supporting them and enjoying Bennett. So take my word for it. And you guys know that the standing offer. If you've been here before, I've made the offer. If you have a bad meal, you legit have a bad meal at Bennett's, you can hit me with the receipt. But it can't be like one of those like Dennis happy hour tabs. I ain't paying for that. Your taste buds are fried after the 3rd margarita. It'll still be really good, trust me. But if you had like a bad meal, you let us know and we will cover that tab as long as you didn't order everything on the menu and say 29 things are good, but that one, yeah, it just really wasn't what I like. That's how confident I am that you will enjoy your time at Bennett's. Let us know when you go in. Let them know that you heard about them here on If You Don't Like That as well. And if you do have a really good meal and you send me that receipt, you know karma's coming for you. I say it all the time. The Kobe burger is coming your way. I'm surprised Haunted Horse didn't chime in when it came to the games. That was interesting. I know Haunted Horse is a big game person. So maybe chime in next time, Horse. Be good to hear from you. You know? No? Kano? Maybe?
I want to know what butt plug bingo is, first of all. How do you play it?
I mean, what? Can't play that here, buddy. Bar none. Yes. IJ was the real MVP. Definitely. Carter was carrying the Kings. You just popped in. Really? You just popped in. Interesting. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know, my man.
I didn't know there were 2 holes. I thought it was just the one.
We love Horse around here. He's cool. I don't think Devin was the MVP of Summer League. That's what you're getting to. I think it's kind of unfair to a degree to ask a guy that's never been a point guard to become a point guard in an off season and indirectly weigh or hang your playing time over their head on that. He's just not a point guard. It's not there. I keep playing this play from Summer League. How you don't this is incredible. You got to see that. 29 had just made an incredible defensive play and had a monster dunk in this same run. You get Ploward to run the floor like that, you just throw it anywhere near the hoop, he's getting that. Yeah, that was tough. And he settled for the 3. So, look, Jerry asked a good question too. He's like, is he healthy? And we had that conversation here on the King's Court as well about whether he was healthy or not because of that interview that he did on or after the first game. I guess the timing of the interview probably is what rubbed a lot of fans the wrong way, or maybe maybe not the fans. I think the fans excuse me, have compassion for Devin. Look, he came back early from that shoulder injury, and he didn't have any summer before that. And by the way, to be fair, I mean, Devin, by the time summer came around, he was able to, he was doing stuff. He couldn't play in summer league, but once we got to the regular season, I think right around the end of October when the season starts, I mean, early November, Devin was already getting some shots up, shooting free throws. So anyways, tough situation, but it comes off the wrong way. I think the organization probably did not like that because what's your point guard? Your point guard's supposed to be your leader. And for summer league to say, well, I hurt my shoulder, I'm not going to rehash it, but that's something that even Coach Dip, it's like, it's first I've heard of it. And I'm sure it probably wasn't, but that was just Coach Dip protecting Devin. Anyways. So what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, as the saying goes, but the underlying presumption of that something will actually happen in the first place. Las Vegas Summer League has become sort of the opposite. Player movement comes to a halt, aside for a few restricted free agency situations. Playing out, the best young players only take the court for a couple of games. We know that with Cooper Flagg. And the entire league unwinds from a long year. This is the blow-off for the league. Once summer league's done, guys, executives, teams, they're going on vacation up until about the end, mid-August, and then they're back when the schedule gets released. I said he was injured during the game by half. You were there. Yeah, you saw it. All right. Interesting. Well, then, see, I can't go either way on that because if you've got a handful of games, you can't assume that you're going to have more than 4 games, which isn't a big enough sample size to show the team that you can play point guard or not. That's crazy. Even though I agree because of the degree that he was not seeing the floor, that it's going to take longer. He's going to be a good basketball player somewhere. He'd probably fit in with just about any team that uses him as he's supposed to be used. Just so happens the Kings, which is one of their biggest problems the last few years, have been trying to play people out of position. So now you're trying to do that with Devin Carter. So here's what the Athletic's hearing about expansion. Quote, they want to get to it. Yes, said one plugged in Team Spy. But I want to make sure I read that right. They want to get to yes. Okay. So the NBA and the way this works with expansion, Commish, I know you guys are all going to put your nicknames in for Adam Silver. It happens every single time. the way expansion works is, if I had to put it in layman's term in a nutshell, you're basically making a loan to the other owners with your expansion fee, because your expansion fee is split between every other team. But then when the TV revenue comes in, every other owner needs to split the TV revenue equally with you. So some owners, they know it's inevitable. It's coming. It's probably Seattle. It's probably Vegas. But Adam Silver was really kind of stalling things a little bit. But according to the source, they want to get to yes, said one plugged in Team Spy. But there's really no urgency. And that's how I kind of came away with it as well when we listened to his comments. They said they have their vetting and exploring process going right now. See, I don't think lizard. I don't. I just don't think lizard. When I see Adam, it's more like E.T. home phone. It's more that. But I got you. I mean, we shouldn't be talking about personal appearance. There are some people though that some people do look like animals. It's just a fact. Like, did you see like this last year or the summer before? It was the quote unquote summer of the rat, where women were looking for men that looked like rats. Real talk. Google it. Not making it up. This the things we get to this time of year. But anyways, they want to get to yes, but there's really no urgency. The league can always sell buyers on a team in Seattle later, but whenever it does, it needs to make sure it's a win beyond the initial windfall of an expansion fee, in particular figuring out the imploding local TV landscape. I think that's the biggest thing holding it up. I do. I think there's a complete and utter uncertainty of how local broadcasts are going to work from team to team, because many of these local networks like ours, NBC Sports California, well, that one's been fine. And if you notice, like if you ever go down your DirecTV, there's a zillion NBC Sports, Boston, NBC Sports, whatever. That branch, the NBC Sports conglomerate, has been okay, but there's been other conglomerates similar to that have folded in mid-season. Happened in Major League Baseball with the Padres. And unfortunately, and I don't like it, I know you're not going to like it, the days of getting our 82 games of the Kings with our cable subscriptions are numbered. It's coming to an end, unfortunately. And I don't think the NBA has any idea how to handle it, because you package it in. My guess would be the NBA's preference would be to package it in to what the NBA League Pass is, but you can buy your team only. I bet the NBA sees that as the easiest way forward. You know who doesn't see it that way? It's the owners. Because the owners, depending on their market, can negotiate very lucrative deals. If you remember, everybody's like, why is the NBA coming back? Like, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me during COVID. Oh, it's because they have to crown a champion. Sure, they wanted to crown a champion. If it was about that, they would have gotten straight to the playoffs. Do you know why they didn't get straight to the playoffs? Because there was 3 or 4 games that had to be played that fulfilled the local TV market contracts around the NBA. Had those not been fulfilled, the teams would have had to return the money for breaching the contract to the local providers. So that's why you got like 3 games before the playoffs started. So that's how important it is. So I think that is going to be a little bit of a clash. I do think the owners in the NBA need to figure that out. I think a team like the Kings, to be quite honest with you, that's not a big market, would probably be in favor. My guess would be probably in favor of what the NBA is pitching, but your LA's, San Antonio, or not San Antonio, New York. Isn't it crazy that the head coach and the assistant head coach, the associate head coach of the Beam Team Kings now run NBA basketball in New York? Nutty. But they're those markets, the big ones, they're the ones that are going to be like, yeah, I don't want, or, we should be getting a bigger cut for the people signing up for that, because we would have been making more money selling it to the Patrick, if you're out there, the Yes Network, which carries, or Sports NY or NY Sports. I think it's Sports NY, but Yes as well. So anyways, that's really, I'm not going to belabor the article. That's really the big thing, the expansion, the NBA stalling. One important note is that if the NBA does come to Las Vegas, it looks like, word is, they would build a completely different building than anything that's there right now, which is kind of crazy to me. Kind of crazy.
Every team really needs what I call a shitbird.
There you go, BJ. You got your drop, buddy. All right, let's get out. Fun day. Big thanks to Vlad for the idea. We'll mix that in every once in a while. If you're joining on the replay, a little bit of a different show, but hang in there. We did the Immaculate Grids. Both of them had Kings questions. If you had a better King to put it in the chat. Let us know. Also, we are on a race. We're trying to get 1 more thumbs up per day. Can we get 27? I would be so grateful. And we'll pay this off, by the way. We will pay this off. We will do our get together at Bennett's. We will make that happen. So help us get there. Spread the word on the show. Really appreciate it. Big thanks to Bennett's. Thanks for all of your guys' and gals basketball knowledge today. And don't forget Napes back at 8 o'clock tonight to talk whatever you want to talk about in sports, NFL news. We played the Tua sound about Tyreek Hill. So Napes will be here taking your calls, and have a good one. Good show today. Fun show. Tested our basketball knowledge. You impressed me. Well done. Go Kings. Light the beam. Have a great rest of the evening. Join Grant in 3 hours. Court's dismissed.
Order in the court.
Sell the team, man.